What's better than a brand new pattern?
How about 6 brand new patterns?
Hi, it's Donna Robertson
And Fran Morgan with Fabric Café.
We're so excited to share that we have 6 new quilt patterns, and they're not just for 3 yards.
We've got 3 yards, we've got 5 yards, and we even have a panel pattern.
With all that variety, there's something perfect for everyone.
Let's check out the first quilt. Now this is Pretty Packages, and you know we all love a pretty package. And we have a really fun red and green one here with a little bow in the middle with the ribbons wrapped around. Absolutely precious. Now this quilt finishes at 42.5 by 60.5, so it's a really nice size for a lap quilt. We have it done in some Christmas fabric, but don't you think it would be darling for a birthday quilt too, and put birthday fabric, or maybe Valentine's or Mother's Day? And the reason why I say that, you could change this block here. It can use a directional fabric. You could put florals in it. You could put all different kinds of things, and of course change your fabric colors for your package as well. So much fun, really fun to put together. Let's get this on the table. Now the package block is alternated with just a plain block, so it makes it really easy.
It does, and it's so cute.
Thank you.
I love this pattern.
Okay, the first thing we're going to do is we are going to do a square of fabric that has stitch and flipped corners. That's going to be one little part of our bow. Then we have a strip assembly unit that we have cut off of those long strips that we've sewn together, and we're just going to sew it right here to the side. Even more simple, we're going to have a rectangle that we sew to the top, and we're going to have a rectangle that we sew to the bottom. We do still have our seam allowances on our pieces, so that's the reason why it kind of looks a little bit off, but it's gonna work. All right, so we're gonna do the exact same thing on the other side. We're basically making this again, but I'm just gonna lay it out here so that you can see what I mean. So you're just gonna make them, and then you rotate it around for the other side, just like this. And what's really cool, we're gonna do this. There's no seams to match anywhere.
Even in the middle.
And so in the middle, we just have this long strip that we're going to sew right in the middle, trim it top and bottom, and there's no seams to match.
This is going to go so fast.
It is.
So this piece and this piece are the same, just rotated.
Yes.
And no seams to match. It looks like it's going to be really hard with lots of little bitty pieces that I'm going to have to match up.
And then look at this block. Is this not just the cutest thing?
Yes, that is adorable.
So it's going to go really fast. And then, of course, it's alternated with just a plain square block. So it's going to be super fun.
So if you have a lot of Christmas presents to make,
That's
this is the one.
That's right.
Yes.
All right. Let's check out the fabric. We have like a farm Christmas because we have our barn, we have all of our buildings in the village, we have our little Christmas tree place here where you can purchase your Christmas tree.
So it's a Christmas farm.
It's so sweet.
Cute.
It is so sweet. Now this is our focus fabric, and whenever you're choosing fabrics for your pattern, we usually choose our largest print to be the number one fabric position, and we call that the focus because it's what you want to focus on.
Right.
And in this case, it's this darling farm scene, Christmas farm scene, which is so cute.
I love it.
Okay, we're going to take this out of the equation. So we're going to just not look at that anymore. We're going to take our remaining 2 fabrics, and for our number 2 fabric, we usually go with the lightest fabric. In this case, I had 2 fabrics that were very close in value, but there's lots of contrast. Normally, the number 2 is the lightest fabric of the 2 remaining, and number 3 is the darkest fabric of the 2 remaining. If you stick to that formula, you're going to have success every single time. So one thing to always consider, though, is the fact that you do want that contrast, and especially here, because we want our bows to really show up.
Right. High contrast is important.
So cute. Okay, so our focus fabric is going to go in this big square right here, so you can really see the farm. It's really cute. Now our number 2, we chose the green for our bow here and a little on the border. And as I mentioned, we've got some good contrast there, so it really shows up. Then for our number 3, we have this really fun red that kind of looks like Christmas wrapping paper.
It does.
You know, But
That's my favorite kind of wrapping paper with swirls all over it.
I like any kind of wrapping paper that's given to me with something tucked inside.
Yes.
But I like that too because this number 3 fabric is going to contrast with our focus, so it really helps the packages stand on their own and the focus block stand on its own.
I also really like the fact that in the focus fabric, you have those little touches of green, and this really does bring that green out.
Yeah,
it's just perfect.
So much fun. And I can see this in so many different applications. I mean, not just Christmas, birthday, wedding. What about a wedding quilt? Now, I'm snitching that idea from Justin because he mentioned it, and I thought it was such a great idea. Like you can embroider their names on one of the blocks.
Or it could be a signature quilt.
It would just be so many things that we can do with a little pretty packages quilt.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
All right, let's get the kit information for everyone out there. It is called Country Christmas, and it is our pretty packages pattern.
Spectrum is a great quilt with lots of movement going on. And if you want a bigger quilt than a lap size, then our 5-yard patterns are perfect for you. This quilt is 58 by 70, and it's a 1 block made in 2 different colorways. And our half square triangles, just a few of those, are added to this quilt to make this great diagonal movement. So let's put it on the table and I'll show you how to make this block. Let's show you the whole block. So this is the whole block here. So we're going to crop it out just like this. And it does look like there's a lot going on because you have all of these colors in there. It's just amazing.
It is. It's a really dynamic block.
And because of that, it kind of makes you think, gosh, this must be hard, getting all that movement in there. But let me show you how easy it is. You're going to be making a unit that looks like this. It has a half square triangle and a square. And you just sew that together.
Got that.
Ta-da!
Yeah.
Now you're going to make one for the top and one for the bottom. So one's here, one's turned, it goes right here. Now over on the side, we're going to do this. Now what we've done is we have the same basic look that you've got on those, and you're going to put a solid block here and a solid block here on either side.
Okay.
That gets sewn to the side of this assembly. Then you take another one of these, you turn it around and you put it on that side, and la la.
Yeah, that's pretty simple.
Pretty simple.
That is really simple. And you know, this is so cool because it creates this movement on the quilt that goes diagonally this way, and then it has the little steps going this way, and it's
It looks like a fun playground.
It really does.
Now, what's really cool is, because it is a 1 block, you're going to make the exact same block, but you're going to use the other colors right over here.
Okay.
So super simple.
Yep.
So let's look at this great fabric. Whenever you're picking out a 5-yard grouping of fabric to make your quilts, we're using the same basic concept where we have a focus fabric that we're going to look at, and that is going to go everywhere you see this section. And then we're going to have our light, so we have focus. We have our comparing light and dark. We have our number 2 fabric. That's going to go everywhere you see the light here. Number 2 is always light, but it's so important to your quilt.
So important, yes.
Yeah, it helps to create the high contrast so that you can really see the design. Then our number 3 fabric is that pop of color. It adds that grounding kind of for your eyes to move around the quilt.
Right.
So that's going to go right here in this section. Then we kind of start all over again. So we had focus, light, dark. Now we're going to pick for our number 4 a secondary focus. And a lot of times I like to have a difference in scale.
Okay.
And those two, because not always, as long as it's a focus fabric, that works. So you can see here we have a little bit different scale in our print.
Very cool.
So this is going to be our number 4, so it's going to act like a secondary focus. And then our 5th fabric is going to be either a light or a dark. So this is where you get to come in with your choice. Look at your other colors and decide, does it need another dark or does it need a light? In this case, the pattern had a dark here, so we went with a kind of a medium or a lighter color to go right beside that. So it's super simple to pick out your fabrics, and always 1 yard pieces.
And it's so simple. I mean, the blocks are basically exactly the same, different colorways, and the fabric is gorgeous, and it all blends so well together.
It does.
Oh my goodness.
I love that. So the kit info on this is Riverbend, and it's the Spectrum pattern.
Now this pattern is called Lacy, and it finishes at a generous 44 inches by 58 inches. This pattern was designed to use a full yard panel that has a horizontal orientation. You can see this gorgeous panel right here in the center. Now we've bordered it on the top and the bottom with this really fun stitch and flip block that's combined with some strip piecing. This is so much fun because when you put these together, I think it kind of looks like eyelet lace, and I think it's kind of fun. It can have so many uses and so many different fabrics. I think it would be a darling baby quilt, but I also think it looks absolutely gorgeous in this fabric as well. Let's go check it out. Now we have our Lacy pattern on the table, and I'm going to tell you this has got to be one of my favorite panels I have ever worked with. It is gorgeous.
It's like gorgeous. It's like being at an art gallery while you're sewing.
It's like you're creating an art gallery right on your quilt.
Right.
It's very cool. Now you'll need a 1 yard panel like this one, plus 2 additional 1 yard cuts. So it's just a 3 yard pattern, which means that you could substitute a regular yard for the panel, which is very cool.
That is so cool.
So it's kind of neat.
It just makes it such a versatile pattern.
Yes.
I love that.
Yes. And I know I've been seeing a lot of large scale prints out there that need a pattern like this.
Yes.
So, and they work beautifully. So we have our beautiful panel as our number 1 fabric here in the middle. Then for our number 2, we've just gone with a very simple kind of cream that has a tone-on-tone swirl. It's like a cream-on-cream swirl, and that is the borders here, and then the background of our really fun piecing here. This is what gives us our contrast, so we see our little eyelet lace.
I love that.
Then for our number 3, we've got our dark, and this is kind of looks like a stained glass little medallion, which is so pretty, so cool. And this is what we've made our actual little stitch and flip little curves here so that it creates this eyelet lace here.
And do you know what's really cool about this? It makes me think of like the monarch butterflies, because it's like they have little geometric designs like this that are just on their wings. It's really cool. So I thought, well, it's monarch lace.
I love it. Monarch lace, definitely. Now let me just mention too that if you need help preparing a large panel like this, because sometimes, they feel a little wonky when you get them, then be sure to watch our video where I step you through exactly how to square it up. I'll show you how to prepare and cut small panel squares and large panel squares, just like this one, so that they'll be just perfect. Now let me get you the kit information on this. It is called Night Flight, and this is our Lacy pattern.
Now Sparkle is a fun quilt that's 42 by 54, and it can use directional fabric in the number 1 position. So if you've got those hiding around there, you've got a place to put them. We use a combination of half square triangles and stitch and flip for this great star pattern that you see here. It gives it a little extra flair to the classic star that we all know and love. And it looks great in Christmas fabric, but guess what? It would look fantastic in patriotic prints. Now Sparkle is kind of close to my heart. I really like this one a lot, and I want to show you this gorgeous fabric that we have for this quilt. It just fits. I mean, it's a wintry scene, and recently when we've had some clear skies, I can see the stars, and I can just see that in this one. It's at night and the moon's shining on the trees. We could get real romantic. Okay, so our number 1 fabric is this beautiful blue with the trees and the snowfall. And it's going to go in the center of each one of our blocks. So we have a block 1 and a block 2. And then our number 2 fabric is our light. It has such a gorgeous dynamic
kind of a pattern on it, but it's subtle at the same time because it's a tone on tone.
And then the number 3 fabric is this blue, and it's kind of a midnight blue with a Again, the moon is shining on those flakes as they're falling. Now, one key to picking out your fabrics for this particular quilt, no matter how you decide to make it, whatever fabric you choose, you really need that high contrast so that you can see your stars. And you'll probably notice that one of the stars, the points are the dark color, where the other one, the points are the light color. And so it really needs to have that real high contrast so that you can see the stars shining.
Right,
Yeah.
love it.
So now I want to give you a little sneak peek of what we did on the back. This is so fun. We picked this cute little tiny print. It's a great way to put a print on the back of your quilt that mimics the front.
Yeah, they're like little bitty ornaments and little berries and vines. It's so cute, and it really does coordinate well.
It does. I like it because it has blues and it has some light grays and then the white. It's a fun backing that we put on this one. And the kit information on this one is Snowy Grove, and it's the sparkle pattern.
Now this is Holiday Charm, and as you can see, it is just full of charm, and it's a nice size. It's a 51 inch by 71 inch, and this one is a 5-yard quilt. Now, Christmas is my thing. I love decorating with Christmas, so this one is so up my alley. We have a really great wreath here with a really sweet bow that's so simple to put together, some stitch and flip on the corner, and then we have a pinwheel block here that kind of looks like a peppermint candy in red and white, or even a poinsettia. We've got a little stitch and flip right on the corner of our half square triangle, and this block is bordered so that it kind of gives you that floating effect between the wreath block and the pinwheel block. I really love it. And these are nice size half square triangles, so there's just a minimal number of them. The rest of this is done with stitch and flip. Now let's get this on the table and step through exactly how to make these blocks. So let's start with our wreath block here. Now we're going to start in the very middle of our wreath, and we're going to have a square, and we have snowballed the corners just to kind of give it that round effect so that it looks like the center of a wreath.
Right.
Okay. Then we're going to sew a rectangle to the side here and to the side on this side.
Well, that's pretty easy.
So snowball with 2 rectangles. Yeah, that's pretty easy. Okay, then we're going to sew a long rectangle to the top. Okay, now here's where the fun part starts happening. We have our bow block down here. Now our bow is made like we did with the pretty packages. We have 2 squares with stitch and flip corners and a little strip assembly right in the middle. So we assemble that, put a rectangle here, and a rectangle here on each side. Now here's where the really fun part comes in. So these are just solid rectangles here. Once we have the entire wreath constructed, we're going to go back and stitch and flip the corners to give it the round shape.
That is so clever, Fran.
And that's how it goes together. It's so easy. Okay, we have an alternate block here that has a little trick too.
All right, let's see what it is.
That's pretty cool.
Okay.
So our alternate block is this pinwheel block here. Now the pinwheel is just simply made with 4 half square triangles. So right here we have a half square triangle, and then here's another one, and then 2 more. Now, what's really cool about this half square triangle is we've just gone in and stitch and flipped right on one corner.
So cool.
And we've done that for all 4 half square triangles. And then when we sew them together, we rotate it so that the little stitch and flip comes together right in the middle and creates that little center.
It's so fun.
So it's very cute.
Yes.
Now, we did border this block. We've just got a strip on the top and the bottom. Just sew a long strip on, trim it even with the sides. Then we put a strip on each side here. And that just gives us a nice border so it separates the pinwheel block from the wreath block. That way they don't run into each other.
I love it.
So it's very fun, very fun. All right, let's look at this fabric, because for our focus, our number 1, we have evergreen branches with holly and all the berries, which isn't that what wreaths are made out of?
Right.
It's a perfect wreath, perfect scale for this and everything.
And I love the blue background.
Yeah.
Yeah, usually you see things like this on a black background, but this has that lovely blue behind it.
It keeps it very, I think, warm and kind of that kind of homey feel, cozy feel. So that's our wreath here. And then for our number 2, we have a nice cream with a beige snowflake on top. And that is going to be in this block here. It is the center of our wreath as well as our stitch and flip corners there. And then for our number 3, we have that pop of red with a little bit of texture there. It's kind of like a red on red polka dot. That's all different size polka dots.
I
It's
like
kind of fun.
that.
This is going to be our bow. Now, it's pretty important that this is going to contrast with our focus so that the bow shows up because it's so cute. You want that to show up. And then we have it in our half square triangles as well and a little on the border. Then we're getting to fabric number 4. Now, fabric number 4 is our secondary focus. And what I did is I chose a fabric that was very similar to our focus fabric, but in another colorway. So the fabric number 4 here goes right in the center here, and it also gives us a really nice sized border so that it really has its day as well as a secondary focus, but it still keeps it all very cohesive and coordinating. So we've got to our number 5, and our number 5 is very important in this quilt. It is an off-white with that same beige snowflake as our number 2 fabric, but it's a little bit bigger scale. Now, I kept these intentionally very similar in color because I wanted it to truly fall to the background. So our number 5 fabric is on our borders of our pinwheels here on every pinwheel block, as well as a little bit on the border. And as you can see, they're very close in color there so that they really kind of work together to be your background.
It works perfectly. They just seamlessly kind of blend on the
Yes.
background of the quilt.
Yes.
And that's really important when we're designing. Sometimes we need more background like you've done there.
Right. And even if you didn't match it exactly, as long as you get 2 light valued fabrics that kind of fall to the background, it's going to work in this one. And the contrast is pretty important so we can really see the movement of that fun pinwheel and that wreath.
Absolutely.
All right. I love this one. All right. Let me get you the kit information on it. It is called Mistletoe Magic, and it's our holiday charm pattern.
Dimensions is a great quilt that finishes at 40 by 58. And you can use directional fabric in the number 1 spot right here. This is a great snowball block. And then for our secondary block, we have a really simple block that we've put together, and we've put stitch and flip on the corner, and it has this great matching centerpiece. When you put these together, it creates these great fun diamonds, which give you a lot of movement in this quilt. It makes it just one of those quilts that you just want to cuddle up with. So let's put it on the table and talk about the fabric. This is going to be the center of our number 1, our snowball that we have here in the number 1. It's an abstract print with lots and lots of color, and that nice big space really shows it off well.
It really does.
Yeah.
And I like that the fabric has all these circles on it, and then it's in a snowball that kind of looks like a circle.
There you go. I hadn't even noticed
It's
that.
kind of fun.
So that's going to be our number 1 fabric going in the 1 block. And then we're going to be doing the snowballed corners with that with the number 2 fabric. And we stayed with a nice warm, textury, contrasty colors. That's why we went with this tan color, because it works so well. I think white would maybe be a little too stark because there's only a tiny bit of white.
Right.
It'll be the corners of each of our snowballs that we do, and it makes the cute, cool little diamonds
there.
here and then the squares
Yeah.
here. Then the number 3, oh, my heart be still. I just think this is the funnest fabric. I just love all of these rich, fun colors.
They're so good.
And it's the perfect one for, you know, we call this dimensions because it gives you a different dimension to a snowball. So it's kind of like a snowball, but it has the corners done with that number 2 fabric and the center, so it's actually done in piecing, like you've got your different pieces going on there. So I think it's wonderful. It really does complement that number 1 fabric. Makes it kind of a busy quilt, just the way you want a busy quilt to look.
It's fun though. It's very modern looking to me.
I
It's
love
very
it.
good.
I really love it. Now the kit information on this one is Pop Palette, and it's the dimensions pattern. I love how much variety there is with these patterns. What was your favorite pattern? Let us know in the comments. We really want to know.
And if you would like to learn about our latest book that came out recently, then be sure to watch the video that pops up. Happy quilting!